Have you ever wondered how a janitor could amass a fortune of $8 million? Well, today we'll uncover the astonishing history of Ronald Read, the frugal investor who turned modest earning into a massive legacy. Welcome back to X. Tony here. Today's Friday, 28th of March 2025. I'm back after 2 episodes of pre-recorded video because my daughter was just born. I usually wake up at 5 a.m. to record this video for you, but today was definitely extra tough. Kudos to all the moms and dads out there. On this channel, we break down everything related to money, investing, crypto, and psychology. If you want to stay ahead in finance, be sure to subscribe. Now, let's dive into today's market updates. Bitcoin is currently trading at $85,000, approaching the bull market support band. This critical juncture suggests that Bitcoin will likely to choose a direction soon. If the price falls below the 200-day moving average, we'll keep an eye on the previous low of $76,000 to see if it holds. On the other hand, if Bitcoin enters the bull market support band, we can then look at $95,000, a level that previously served as strong support but now has been flipped into a major resistance. Alright, let's get into today's morning deep dive. Ronald Read was a man who spent his life working as a gas station attendant and janitor, earning modest wages. Born in 1921 in Dormiston, Vermont, he grew up in a poor farming family that was the first in his family to graduate high school. After serving in World War II, he returned to Battleboro, Vermont, where he worked at a gas station for 25 years and later as a janitor at JCPenney for 17 years. You know, the guy who swept floors, scrubbed toilets, and mopped up coffee spills that some careless customer knocked over. Yet when he died in 2014 at the age of 92, he left behind a fortune of $8 million. Now, before you start Googling high-paying janitor jobs, let's break this down. How did he do it? Did he win the lottery? Rob a bank? Find buried treasure? Well, Ronald Read mastered 2 things: frugality and long-term investment. And I mean frugality on difficult mode. This was a man who literally held his coat jacket together with safety pins. If a restaurant had free refills, you best believe he was getting his money's worth. He once walked miles just to avoid paying for parking. If you gave him a new pair of shoes, he'd probably keep them in a box for 10 years before wearing them. Now I know what you're thinking, alright, I get it. He was frugal, but frugality alone doesn't make you rich. And you're right. Here's where it gets interesting. Ronald Read wasn't just saving money, he was investing it. Not in some risky meme stocks or get-rich-quick scheme. No Dogecoin, no penny stocks, no flipping NFTs of pixelated ducks. Instead, he focused on blue-chip stocks, company like P&G, F.I.R.E, Johnson & Johnson. Solid, incredibly boring, and reliable business that prints money year after year. And here's the magic trick. He reinvested his dividends. Dividends are like financial cheat codes. You buy a stock, it pays you money regularly. And instead of spending that money on a new iPhone, you reinvest it. So your money makes you more money. Over decades, this simple strategy turned Ronald Read from a janitor into a multi-millionaire. Here I want to talk about something that kills most people's chance of becoming wealthy: lifestyle inflation. You probably know a guy who gets a promotion and immediately upgrades his entire life. New car, bigger house, fancier clothes, first-class flight. And suddenly he's making double his old salary, but somehow still broke. That's lifestyle inflation in action. Ronald Read never fell into that trap. He understood that's something most people don't. Your wealth isn't measured by how much you earn. It's measured by how much you keep and how well you invest it. There are surgeons, lawyers making 500,000, 800,000, $1 million a year who are still drowning in debt. And then there's Ronald Read, a janitor, quietly stacking millions because he let compounding do the work for him. And speaking of compounding, let's do some quick math. Say you invest $500 per month into S&P 500 index fund with average return of 8% per year. Do you know how much you have after 40 years? That's over $1.5 million. That's the power of time and compounding. Now I can really hear the skeptics. Hey Tony, but what if the market crash? Well, the thing is that the market will always crash and it will always recover. Do you remember the 2008 financial crisis? Absolutely brutal. But if you had held on, you'd be sitting on massive gains today. The COVID crash, look at where we are now. The people who panicked sold lost everything. The people who held on, or better yet, bought more, became wealthier. And that's what Ronald Read did. He didn't panic, he didn't sell. He just kept buying, holding, and reinvesting his dividends. So you don't really need a 6-figure salary to become wealthy. You just need to avoid lifestyle inflation. Invest in a solid asset and let time and compounding do the rest. The next time you feel the urge to buy a $10 coffee every morning, remember Ronald Read. Then ask yourself, would you rather have a lifetime of luxury coffee or $8 million fortune? That's your call. Now let's take a look at today's top news. The first news, GameStop stock experienced significant volatility recently. The stock jumped 15% after announcing plan to start buying Bitcoin and stablecoins, only to drop 25% in the following days. These rollercoaster movements highlight the market's reaction to the company's bold foray into cryptocurrencies. The second news, France-based blockchain group has added another 580 Bitcoin to its treasury. Since they started holding Bitcoin last November, their stock prices surged by 225%. This move underscores the growing trend of companies diversifying their asset with cryptocurrency holdings. And the third and last news, this analyst believes that the market is underestimating Bitcoin's potential to return to an uptrend and reach new all-time highs. Factors such as increased institutional adoption and favorable regulatory development could drive Bitcoin price higher in coming months. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribe for daily updates in weekdays. Have a lovely weekend. Stay invested, and I'll see you next Monday.